Hello, namaste everyone. Welcome to our this virtual class. Firstly, let me introduce myself. I am Bijes Raj Pradhan. I am your subject teacher for computer science for grade 9, and today we are going to start our first lesson, that is introduction to computer. So firstly, what is introduction? Just like in the beginning, before I started the classroom, I introduced myself, like saying my name, Bijes Raj Pradhan. That is how you introduce yourself. Like if I ask you to introduce yourself, you will be also telling your name, the class which you study in, maybe your address, something like that. So you will be telling something special about yourself, which is unique about yourself. So in this lesson also you will be discussing about computer, which is the quality of computer, which is the feature of computer. So which is only available in computer, special about computer. So I think you know the meaning of the word introduction. Similarly, the second term, which says computer. Now, computer is not a new term for anybody these days. You have been studying computer for the last few years. Uh, Even people who are not studying computer in school or colleges, they know about computer. Literally, computer has globalized the world. It has squeezed the world. It has turned the world into a global valley, global small valley. So if just imagine if there were no computers and laptops, how could we communicate with each other? So today in this world, okay, we can communicate with anybody in any part of the world. Like people in North America can communicate with people in Australia. If you want to buy a product in some other countries, you can buy staying here at your home using Amazon or eBay. So this has changed how people live their life. Computer has globalized. Computer has occupied all the spaces. Computer is available in all the markets, in all the areas. Now, like class 8, class 8 students, you have studies about evolution of computer in class 8, how it all evolved. So you know, computer actually was developed for the calculation purpose. Let us go to the term computer. Computer actually comes from the word, it's quite weird, but I would like to use it, Latin word computare. Sounds funny, right? It's okay, right? Computare in Latin, in English, it's compute. Compute means to calculate. So for the purpose of calculating, for the purpose of counting, the computers were developed. Now if I ask you what is computer, maybe I will get the answers like computer is an electronic machine which is used for calculating purpose. Computer is an electronic device which accepts input, process data, and gives them an output. Okay, let me note that. Okay, here, let me note that. Okay, computer. Okay, maybe I should write the topic first. introduction to. So this is our topic for today. The first thing, the definition of computer. You might be saying like a computer is an electronic device used for calculation purpose. Okay, that is certainly correct. Maybe I'll get another answer like it is an electronic device which accepts raw data as input, processes them, and gives a meaningful information as output. Okay, this is a good answer. Okay, I'd like to add a few more words to this definition. Electronic device which accepts raw data, that's correct. Let's change this definition. Why should I write another then? And gives a meaningful information output. Also stores them for future use. Let me drop this whole thing. This and is not necessary. Produces meaningful information. Gives is correct, I guess. Yeah, information data, they are not singular. So this is the definition of computer which most of you use. This is very good. Okay, that's correct. Now here you need to consider a few terms in this definition. One is data, next one is input, process, information, output. 5 terms. So there was one question in class 8, if I'm not wrong, you must have studied. Why is Charles Babbage considered as the father of computing? Do you remember the answer? Okay, maybe some of you do remember, but the answer is IPO. Am I correct? The machine which Charles Babbage devised, the machine which Charles Babbage invented, the differential engine and the analytical engine, it was based on IPO cycle, and the same concept is being used in this modern day computers. So IPO stands for input, process and output. That's why he is considered as the father of computer science. So this is the main function of the computer. I stands for input. Here P stands for process and O stands for output, which most of you already know. Now the short definition I would like to write in short over here. What is input now? It is the process of feeding data to the computer. Second one, it is the process of manipulating the data as per the instructions. Finally, output, it is the process of displaying result of processing. So these are the three main tasks which computer performs. It also does another task, that is storage, right? A computer stores programs and data whichever is required for you in future. Now, as I was telling you earlier, let us discuss about these two terms, data and information. Most of the students, they often get confused between data and information. So let's discuss a few things about this. Now, data, if I ask you what is data, what would you say? Okay, maybe raw facts, maybe information. Some of you might consider the information and data as synonymous. This is quite confusing. Okay, data are raw facts, that's correct. The raw facts which you feed to computer for further processing. They do not give clear meaning. Data can be in any form like numbers, alphabets, etc. So data can be, it can be audio clip, it can be images, it can be text, it can be videos, anything. Basically data are of two types, like analog type, digital type. This we will not discuss today. And similarly, next one, as I was telling you, information. Now what is information? Here you might have a problem. If you see the definition of computer over here, you can see it's already mentioned. Okay, gives meaningful information as output. So information is the result, information is the output which you obtain from computer. So information, it is the process data, data which gives clear meaning. So now here, what makes the thing confusing is like some information can be used as data for another program. Let me make it clear. Like for example, if I write here few things like now, can anybody tell me what are these numbers? Probably not. So they can be an example of data. Now suppose I give these 5 numbers as input, they are to the computer, and it to calculate the average. Now let's say the average marks obtained, let me not say average, okay, let's say total marks obtained by a student, or you could have mentioned the name as well. is how much does it total to? 45 plus 55, that's equal to 100, 160, 160 and 150, that's 310. 310. Now this 310 is the result of processing here, and this sentence, it makes quite clear sense. So out of these 5 marks, I've got 310 new value. So this is an example of information. Now the same value 310, maybe it can be used to calculate the average marks. How much would we get if we divide by 5? I think it's 62.5. Sorry, yeah, that's correct. So now here, if I write another thing, the average marks is 62.5. Now here, to get 62.5, I needed 310. So this will be used to calculate this 62.5. So this is being used as data for next program, next calculation purpose. So some information might be data, but all data is not information. Is that okay? Now maybe this average marks could be used to calculate his find out his or her, let's say, grade, and with the grades maybe we can tell he or she is passed or failed, promoted or demoted, and so on. Okay. Now moving further, now the next part of the lesson is the characteristics of computer. Now what are the characteristics of computer? Now before I move on to characteristics of computer, I'd like to share something else to you. I think I had shared this book with you. Did you go through it or not? Did you read this or not? This is a page from a book of class 9, Modern Computer Science. This is a book written by our faculty head, Mr. Yogesh Chhetri. So if you see here in this first 2 paragraphs, the introduction of computer is given here. I think it's the same thing over here: input, processing and output. This paragraph tells you how computers are being used all over the world, and the next paragraph, there you have the characteristics of computer. Now let me say another thing with you. This is the PowerPoint presentation which I have shared with you. What is computer? Here is the definition. A computer is an electronic device operating under the control of instructions stored in its memory that can accept data, manipulate and produce information. Generally, the term is used to describe collection of devices that functions together as a system. This is one good important part. System. Computer is considered as a system because there are a lot of devices here. If you see in this figure, you can see there is a monitor, there is a printer, there is a scanner, there are headphones, there are CPU, there is a CPU, speaker. Many devices, they work together. That's why it's called a system. Now what does a computer do? Input, process, output and storage. Next one, you have data and information, which we were discussing before. So I hope you have already gone through this before. Now why is a computer so powerful? This is very similar to the characteristics of computer. Now let us come to the characteristic of computer. Now what do you mean by the term characteristics? Can anybody tell me what is characteristics? character, nature. So characteristics refers to some nature, quality, feature which is present within you. Your characteristics, your character defines you. Maybe you are a good boy, you are an honest boy, maybe you are tall. Similarly, the characteristics of computer, it defines the features of computer. So let us note them down. Here, uh, before noting, let us discuss something else, like uh, why was the computers devised, why were the computers developed. Computer is a machine, and man is crazy. Human beings, they have been crazy about machines. We are surrounded by machines. So from the early times, man had been trying to devise new machines. They have been trying to create new machines. Why? To save time, to make the work faster, isn't it? So computers were also developed basically to save our time, to do the task accurately. One of the characteristics, it is not the prime only characteristic, but that is one of the feature. Like early days computer, before computer, maybe around 70 years ago, 50 70 years ago, there were calculators are not as fast as computers. So comparatively, computers are much faster than calculator. So this is one characteristic of computer, that it is very fast. Speed of computer. What is another? It's accuracy. Number 3, what is next? Can anybody tell me? Now this is important. Diligent. Next one, versatile. Oh, it has moved to next page. Next one, it's reliability, let's see. Next one, it's automatic. Oh, have I missed anything? Okay, I nearly missed something. That was storage. And one more, that is storage. You could add more. If you refer different books, they will give you different characteristics as per the writer. So right now for today we'll discuss these 7. Maybe in the PPT file, like the presentation, I've included only 5 of them. Speed, I think I have to tell very little about speed of the computer. You know, the computer works within a not cell, like it does task of, let's say, which is very difficult to solve for human beings. As I told you earlier, you can communicate to a person in the other part of the world within a fraction of a second. Similarly, there in the book, if you see, there is a table which shows the equivalence of the seconds: millisecond, microsecond, nanosecond, and picosecond. It's a thousandth of a second, 10,000, millionth, billionth, and so on. You can see them yourself, so I'm not going to explain more about this speed. Similarly, accuracy. The accuracy, computers are considered to be 100% accurate machine unless the user gives a wrong data, the user gives wrong input. So whenever a user gives wrong input, it produces wrong output, that is known as GIGO. Can anybody tell me what's the full form of GIGO? I guess most of you can. Okay, I'm going to write it soon enough. That's garbage in, garbage out. It means when a user gives wrong value, so garbage value, incorrect data, you get the wrong answer. This procedure, okay, this procedure of giving wrong answer when the user gives wrong input is known as GIGO. So I'd like to move to number 7 first. Storage. Computer has mass storage capacity. Initially, computers were very large, huge, big in size. Okay, you know it. Class 8 students, you must have studied about the early computers, the electromechanical computers, and the beginning electronic computers. So in 1950s and 60s, the computers almost occupied a whole room. So a vacuum tube. So after the development of IC, they became smaller, right? So storage, computers can store large amount of data, large volume of data, and the unit of measurement of computer data is in the terms of bits, bytes, and megabytes. No? So in that table, you can see the equivalence. How many bits is equal to how many bytes, megabyte. You can see that yourself. I'm not going to discuss more about it. Megabyte, gigabyte, and so on. Terabyte, petabyte, zettabyte, yottabyte, and so on. So this is also done. This is very important. Diligent. What is the meaning of diligent? Can anybody tell me? Okay, computer is a diligent machine. Diligent means somebody who doesn't get tired, who doesn't feel lazy. Okay, if I ask you to stay online for 3 hours and listen to me, you'll definitely feel lazy. Oh my god, how can I attend 3 hours long class? I can tell you through my personal experience. Okay, when I was studying in my college, okay, I had to attend class of 90 minutes. So after 60 minutes, 70 minutes, and all of us, okay, we used to feel very lazy and check watch frequently. And one day, we even noticed our teacher checking the watch. So that is quite tiresome job for to do the same task again and again. So the computer doesn't feel so. The computer doesn't feel lazy, neither tired. You can ask the computer to print 1,000 pages. The computer will print 1,000 pages. You can ask the computer to work for the whole day. It will work for the whole day. That's one unique quality of computer. Let me say, this is very important. Please keep in mind. Okay, let me write this also. Not getting tired or feeling lazy. Next one, versatile. Maybe if you know the meaning of the word versatile, literal meaning, you should be able to answer this. Versatile, what does versatile refer to? Versatile means somebody who can do several tasks. Maybe a versatile player, okay, player. If I say a versatile player in football, he is a very good player. He can play as a defender, he can play as an attacker, he can play as a midfielder. If I say a versatile teacher, maybe versatile teacher who teaches English, he teaches computer, he teaches mathematics. So similarly, that means versatility means being able to put to several uses. So computer can be used to do several tasks. That's why it's called versatile. Mobile phones is also a versatile device. So mobile phone works as a radio phone, mobile phone works as a camera, mobile phone works as, let's say, internet connecting device. You can use Facebook, Instagram. Similarly, you can play games and blah blah. Okay. So versatile means being able to put to several use. So computer also can be used to play games, maybe connect internet, or use to type letters and blah blah, right? You can also make spreadsheet, you can make pictures, you can draw, you can make movies, you can watch, you can so many other things. Because of computer and ICT, we are being able to communicate to each other today. Because just now I remember something which I saw somewhere on internet yesterday. Okay, I don't know whether you people call it okay meme or meme or mimi or something like that, or troll. Okay, uh, that was a positive message. Somebody was mentioning that, oh, it's nice that COVID-19 Corona was explored in 2020. Had it been, let's say, explored in 2000 AD, we'd have a very difficult time at home, because then there were no smartphones. We had only Nokia mobile and we could be playing Snake game. I think most of you don't know what is Snake game. I do know it. Okay, we used to play when I was young. Okay, back then in 2000 there was no Facebook, no YouTube. I think internet. Okay, it started in 90s. Okay, there was internet. Okay, we used to use Hotmail, Live Messenger, and there was some chat rooms as well. But life would have been really difficult. Okay, let's leave that topic apart. Let's come back to our main topic. Next one is now reliability. Reliable, it's common term. Reliable, what does reliable means? Reliable means trustworthy. He is a reliable guy, means you can trust on him, you can count on him. Reliable, the same thing. It's reliable means it is trustworthy, it does the work correctly. Making no mistakes. Automatic, okay. Automatic means like, actually computer is a dumb machine. Computer has no common sense, no IQ, no intelligence. Everything is computer, everything is programmed, everything is stored, it's in memory. So why we consider it automatic is like, once the instruction is given, once you press the button, once you give the command, the entire task is done itself automatically. That's why it's called an automatic machine. Now doing task itself doesn't mean it will do everything itself. We have to tell them to do, like, uh, you can see, okay, I was typing on, let's say, I just press the button on keyboard and it appears automatically on the screen. So this is doing task itself. Okay, so I'd like to conclude here for today. If I miss anything, let me rewind. I'll share something else with you. This one, this is the second page of the book. Here you have the same thing, the storage capacity, diligence, automatic, and so on. The characteristics of computer, accuracy. I think in the first page there was speed. Now limitations are also given over here. Limitations of computer, it is limited, like, it doesn't have intelligence. I just use that sentence. It cannot think itself. That is one of the limitations of the computer. It lacks decision making power. It has no feelings. Those are the limitations of computer. But let me not explain more about it today. We'll discuss that next week in next class. Thank you. Okay, good day.